We have reached the end of 2014. That itself is mind-blowing. Every time a year ends, it blows my mind. So, that being said, today is an important video because we're gonna talk about my favorite books of 2014. It's kind of a big deal. You should be excited because I'm really excited. Can you feel the excitement here? It's everywhere. My first favorites of the year would have to go to The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. I got into the Mortal Instruments, I think the end of the last year, and then I read The Infernal Devices, or something of the sort. I personally prefer The Infernal Devices over the Mortal Instruments. They're both really good. Mortal Instruments is awesome, but I just prefer that one more because Will and Jem and Tessa, they're just, I love them. If you haven't read The Infernal Devices, you should get on that because it's really good and you're missing out. Pre-warned, your heart's gonna break and shatter into a million pieces, but it's okay because you will recover, I promise. Okay, I can't promise, but okay. The second book that made this list is The Living by Matt De La Pena. This book, I've never felt so terrified. Well, okay, I have felt more terrified reading other books, but this book just, it took one of my biggest fears, which is tsunamis, and just threw it at my face pretty much, and it was terrifying. This book was about an earthquake that hit the coast of California, and a tsunami was triggered, and it's about this kid who's surviving it with this other person, and a lot of crazy things happen, but it was really good. If you want a really good survival story, I would recommend this one. So I really liked it. And the third book that made this list is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I really love Jurassic Park. I'm so excited for Jurassic World, by the way. Have you guys seen the trailer for Jurassic World? Because that trailer, so excited for that. If you like dinosaurs, you must read this book. And if you don't like dinosaurs, what's wrong with you? Because everyone loves dinosaurs. I think everyone does. I love dinosaurs. And if just read it, okay? It's good. You get some cool dinosaurs, T-Rexes, chasing people, trying to eat them, velociraptors, all that stuff. Good time, good time. Another book that made my favorites is called Sand Dollar Summer by Kimberly K. Jones. This book was just such a cute contemporary book about family and overcoming difficult circumstances and just, you know, just character development. This book was just everything I could want in a contemporary. The characters just kind of like took a hold of your heart and just, yeah, right in the heart, right in the heart. Also, it takes place in like a beach town, and that's always fun to read about because beaches are pretty, right? Okay. The next book that made my favorites is called Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet by Jamie Ford. This book was probably one of the most beautiful books I read this year. Obviously it's on this list, of course it is, but definitely in my top 5 if I had to choose a top 5. This book tells the story of a small, innocent, cute love story between two Japanese Americans during World War II, and it deals with the hardships and the prejudice that was going on during that time. You probably know the terrible things, I don't want to talk about that, but it was beautiful, it's heartbreaking, good, and I know that synopsis is pretty bland and boring, but this book was written so beautifully. It has amazing descriptions, details, the characters were beautiful. I just enjoyed it so much. If you like historical fiction, read it. Next we have Hold Me Closer, Necromancer by Lisa McBride, I believe. This is the first book in a trilogy or a series, who knows, I don't know. But this book was freaking fantastic. If you love the Mortal Instruments, you need to read this book because the story is different, but it has the same like feeling and vibe. I laughed out loud so much during this book and it was just fantastic. I give a high five to that book because it's awesome. Next on this list is none other than The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit as well by J.R.R. Tolkien. These books are probably the best books ever. No, I'm kidding. They're really good though. I can't describe how amazing The Lord of the Rings is because they're that amazing that there is not words I can use to describe the amazingness that is those books. If that doesn't make you want to read them, I don't know what will, but if you haven't read them, go do that now because what are you doing with your life? Okay? That's me, I'm sorry. I read a lot of Stephen King this year. I really wanted to get into his books. Amazing, the guy is a genius. So I had to put one of his books on this list, and of course I went with The Shining because that book, so good. The book scared the crap out of me. There was one part of the book in particular, not gonna talk about it, but it may have kept me up at night. I may not have gotten much sleep, and it sucked, but the experience of reading that book, perfect. You really need to read Stephen King if you haven't. I don't care if you're scared of horror. He doesn't have all scary novels. He's known for the horror, but he also has non-horror books, so read those. Okay? Okay. Next on this list is a book that is so weird, so odd. I'm not even completely sure what I read having read it, and that is Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. Really though, like the weirdest book I've ever read in my life, but also one of the best at the same time. The reading experience was great because I'm reading this and then all of a sudden something else happens and I'm like, wait, what just happened? Because I am so confused, but this is so awesome and just done so well at the same time that I don't know what's going on, but I like it. So that must be a good thing. I want to read more of his books in the next year. I'm hoping to read more. So I'm hoping for Cat's Cradle. Fingers crossed I get that book soon. Next on this list is a book that I've kind of talked a lot about recently, and that is Nightmares by Jason Segel and Kristen Miller. Book, so good. I love this book. I get so excited when I talk about this book because I love this book so much. I describe this book as the perfect Halloween read. So next Halloween, if you still haven't read this book, read this book. It's about just a kid who's having nightmares. He thinks his mom's an evil witch. He's having these dreams that are turning into reality and you don't know what's going on, and just a bunch of crazy stuff, and it's just so good, and it's such a good middle grade book and I love it. I had so much fun reading it. Jason Segel, you're the best. You're the best, and I really like it. Next we have The Magic Trick, which is the second book in the card game series by Levi Stack. The author sent this book to me, and he sent me the first book too last year, and it made my top 13, and he sent me the second book this year and it made my top 14. He's such a good writer. This author is just mind-blowingly like, how do you create such an amazing world? If you love Harry Potter, I would definitely read this. It has the same feeling. The story's completely different. Don't go into it knowing that, but it has the warmth you feel for like Ron, Harry, Hermione. You feel the warmth with these characters in these books. Fantasy. If you love fantasy, also read it. It's just so perfect. The next book that made my top 14 is Night Film by Marissa Pessel. I don't know if that's how you say her name, so I apologize if I said that wrong, but whatever. This book was so engrossing and creepy and terrified me as well. It's addicting and you can't put it down, and it's one of those books that you really just want to stay up all night and read because it's that engrossing. Next we have East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I've only read 4 John Steinbeck books now, and this one definitely is the best I have read so far. So good. I didn't even know what the book was about prior to reading the book, and it's fantastic in every way a book can be fantastic. The character development was on point, the setting, the writing, it's great. And if you want to read some John Steinbeck, I definitely recommend this one because it's my favorite so far. And the last book in my top 14 of 2014 is Neil Patrick Harris's Choose Your Own Autobiography by Neil Patrick Harris. This book, I just read it like maybe a week ago or something, and I'm still processing how amazing NPH is because it's NPH and he's freaking amazing. Also, met him, got my book signed by him. Just saying. Be jealous, because you should be jealous. The format of the book itself was really cool because it's like you are Neil Patrick Harris, and your reading experience, you're like choosing the direction of his life. I didn't expect the book to be as heartwarming as it was. It really kind of got you in the heartstrings. And if you're a fan of Neil Patrick Harris, you really should read it because it's really good. And yeah, I think that's the 14. I think that's 14. Hopefully that was 14. If you read any of these books, leave a comment below. If you haven't, leave a comment below. Also, you should totally follow me on Instagram. I will leave a link in the description below. Was that done casually? That was lame, wasn't it? That was lame. I just want to say thank you for all of you guys who subscribe. You're all amazing. I love you all. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to all of you. You're all awesome. Okay, can we do a high five? High five to you all, because you're awesome.